Hey there! Welcome to Cultivating Her, the podcast where we are breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I am glad you are here today because this episode is one of those foundational conversations that can shift the entire way that you approach health. It was initially designed to be a lunch and learn for my coaching clients. But after writing out the script, I decided, I am going to make this into a podcast because I feel like it's just one of those important conversations. So if you've ever felt stuck in survival mode, constantly tired but unable to rest, and like your hormones are just out of whack no matter how healthy you try to be, then this is for you. Because today we're talking about the nervous system, what it is, why it matters, and how sleep, stress, and hormones are all connected. Hopefully, you'll walk away with clarity and a whole lot of compassion for your body and some simple tools to bring yourself back into balance. So let's get into it. Welcome to Cultivating Her, breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Hey friends, and welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. Because I had an engagement scheduled at lunchtime today, and my group coaching does a lunch and learn, I decided to combine the lunch and learn topic with the podcast topic. Okay, so we're going to talk about something that affects every single area of your health today, but often gets overlooked: your nervous system. So we live in this go, go, go world, and most of us are operating in a state of chronic stress without even realizing it. Today, I want to explore how that is impacting your sleep, your hormones, and your body's ability to heal. And then, of course, what can we do about it? We're going to dive into some of these invisible but powerful connections between stress levels, sleep quality, and hormonal health. So if you've ever felt wired but tired, anxious for no reason, or like your body is fighting against you, this is for you. This is also for my coaching clients so that they can understand how to overcome some of these things to help optimize their health. Okay? What we're going to do is learn about the nervous system, what throws it off, and simple ways to reset so that your body can do what it was designed to do, which is to heal. Okay, so the nervous system 101, we're just going to basic. The nervous system is the command center of the body, and it controls how you respond to the things around you. It has two major settings: sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, the sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight system. Okay, it's short term, it's about survival, it's a high alert state. It's great if you're running from a bear, but it's not meant to be your daily baseline. Okay, your parasympathetic nervous system is all about rest, digest, and heal. So your body will prioritize digestion, reproduction, and immunity, and will repair in this state. Okay, healing happens when we are in a parasympathetic state. But most of us are stuck in fight or flight, running on adrenaline, over-caffeinated, under-rested, and overstimulated. Especially women. We have what Dr. Libby Weaver has coined rushing woman syndrome. Okay, and that gets us stuck in sympathetic dominance. And why? So we have chronic stress, we have trauma, we have lack of setting healthy boundaries, we have the consumption of overly processed food, blood sugar spikes, too much screen time. Even over-exercising can be a problem, okay? So what are symptoms of dysregulation? They are poor sleep, having anxiety, having digestive issues, having hormonal swings, emotional reactivity, and burnout. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Okay, so take a deep breath, okay, and realize if you're constantly feeling anxious or on edge or exhausted, it's not all in your head. Your nervous system may very well be stuck in survival mode. So stress is not just feeling, it's a biochemical cascade. When your body perceives stress, your brain signals the adrenal glands to release cortisol and adrenaline. These guys are survival hormones. They shut down functions that aren't essential for immediate survival. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about cortisol's impact on specifically progesterone, because remember, as girls, progesterone goes shy when cortisol goes high. That leads to PMS issues, fertility issues, irregular cycles. Cortisol's impact on insulin will increase the resistance. So our body will stop being sensitive to insulin. Okay. So then we become insulin resistant, which causes weight gain, fatigue, cravings. And then cortisol and our thyroid, you get slowed function. Because remember, we will always, always, always prioritize those sex hormones and reproduction over the thyroid. And the thyroid hormones and the sex hormones are like even Steven. Okay, so chronic stress raises cortisol, which suppresses progesterone, increases insulin resistance, and can disrupt thyroid function. This is what causes hormone dysfunction. Okay, cortisol and melatonin work together like a teeter-totter. If stress is high, sleep quality is low. If you're not sleeping, your body stays in stress mode, and it's this vicious cycle. Okay, so if you are not managing stress, then your hormones can't function properly, no matter how clean you eat, how many supplements you take, or how much fasting you do. You have to manage your stress. So then sleep. What about sleep? Okay, sleep is literally the time when our body heals. Literally. During deep sleep, your brain detoxifies, your immune system resets, your hormones rebalance, and your tissues repair. It's not optional, it's foundational. Okay, so I'll break down for you real quick the stages of sleep. So we have stage 1, which is light sleep. This is transitional sleep. Okay, stage 2 is more stable sleep. This is where your heart rate and your temperature start to come down. And then you have stage 3, which is detox sleep. This is where healing and growth hormone is released. And then you have REM sleep, which is our deep sleep, which is where brain detox happens, memory consolidation, emotional processing. All of these things start happening in that deep sleep. Okay, so blood sugar crashes, blue light, and stimulants can all interfere with melatonin production. Okay, this is why sleep hygiene is critical, especially for you ladies who are trying to balance your hormones. So effects of sleep deprivation include increased ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, insulin resistance, cortisol elevation, and decreased melatonin and progesterone. And remember, progesterone brings with it GABA, which is our calming hormone. Okay? So prioritizing sleep is not lazy, it's foundational. And you can't fast track healing while skimping on sleep. All right? So what does that mean and how do we do that? So first of all, we want to create a wind down routine. Same time every night. Go to bed, wake up at the same time. You want to be regulating your circadian rhythm, okay? But your routine at night is important, right? So we don't want bright lights. We want to dim the lights. We want to use soft lighting in the evening that helps your brain produce melatonin. It's also really good to get outside at sunset, right? As the sun is going down and you're getting that just dusk feeling, then your body turns on that trigger of like, oh, hey, it's starting to be nighttime. It's time to get ready to go to sleep, okay? No screens 1 hour before bed. Blue light disrupts your melatonin, okay? So opt for a book, do some journaling, stretching. Use your bed for sleep and sex. Don't lay there and watch television. Don't scroll on TikTok or Instagram, okay? do not take the phone to bed. The other thing that we want to make sure that is happening is that the bedroom is cool and dark. So ideal temperature is between 65 and 67. So, and get it nice and dark. So if you don't have blackout curtains, use an eye mask. I've said this over and over and over again. Like, yes, this is the thing. It's the best money I've ever spent. You can use natural calming tools like herbs, essential oils, breath work, meditation. Okay, so herbs, things like passion flower and chamomile and valerian root, lemon balm, all can help support relaxation. Essential oils like lavender, cedarwood, vetiver, these are all grounding oils that help to calm your mind. So put a few drops in a diffuser when you go into the bedroom and you're going to read. And of course, breath work. So just a few minutes of deep belly breathing or a guided meditation will really help shift you into that parasympathetic state before you go to sleep, which can help sleep. Okay. You also want to make sure that you're cutting out caffeine by between 12 and 2, especially if you're more sensitive. Definitely cut that caffeine out earlier. And if you're waking between 2 and 3 a.m., look at how much alcohol you're consuming, okay? It is sedating at first, but it does disrupt deep sleep. And one of the things that my coaching clients can attest to is that, yes, alcohol does make them, number one, have more night sweats, and number two, does wake them up between 2 and 3 a.m., which we don't want, okay? The other thing to consider for good sleep is keeping your blood sugar balanced all day. So blood sugar crashes that happen at 2 a.m. can wake you up. So make sure that you're balancing all of that out. If you're in my coaching program, you know this. If you're just listening to the podcast, I'm throwing it out there so that you can make sure that you're paying attention to that as well. The other thing that I highly recommend for everyone is magnesium glycinate before bed, because that helps to calm the nervous system and reduces your amount of times that you wake up in the middle of the night. Also, the majority of us are magnesium deficient and we need magnesium. All right, so that pretty much covers sleep. Now, how do we regulate and restore the nervous system? You don't need a 90-minute meditation or this perfect routine, okay? Healing is just about consistent, simple habits that send safety signals to your brain, okay? And the tools that work best for this are breath work. So a 4-7-8 breathing, some box breathing or alternate nostril breathing, activating your vagus nerve by humming, by gargling, by cold faces, by singing. Like there's a direct connection between the gut and the brain through the vagus nerve. There's lots of studies about it. I can link some for you if you're interested. Let me know. Grounding. So being barefoot in the grass, going outside, getting sunlight exposure, all of these things. Like you cannot extract the mind from the body the same way that you cannot extract the body from the environment. We are all interconnected, right? And so being outside, being in nature, having your bare feet in the ground, appreciating the beauty of the earth that we live on, and then, of course, being exposed to the sunlight because that helps with our melatonin production. All of these are really healthy, okay? Mind-body practices like yoga and dance, getting a massage, and laughing. You guys don't discredit the importance of laughing, like enjoying things, enjoying your life. Of course, I will always talk about nourishment because I do believe that the body needs to be fueled properly. So eat real foods with protein, fat, fiber, avoid blood sugar crashes, and watch stress levels, okay? Really work on nourishing yourself to help regulate that nervous system. And then, of course, that evening wind down, making sure that you have a good sleep routine. Use some of the techniques that I talked about. Definitely no screens an hour before bed. Take that magnesium. Look at some calming teas. Maybe do a meditation. Use essential oils. I highly recommend, too, tracking your sleep in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a watch or a Oura ring, one of those metrics. It really is great. And then just to take notes, like if you're in my coaching program, you're tracking your food and you're tracking your glucose. Track your sleep too. Like, what did you eat the night before? How did you sleep? Do you wake up feeling refreshed? Did you wake up multiple times? And start to look for patterns because they're there. And look for ways to help your body feel safe again. I think the biggest takeaway for healing is just that you don't have to hustle your way. Like, there's not some magic formula or some perfect timeline. Like, being safe, being consistent, and being nourished is your best medicine, right? I want to remind you so much, your body wants to heal. It is constantly working to find balance, but it needs you to allow your intuition to come through. It needs you to partner. Start small. One breath, one night of better sleep, one boundary that creates more peace in your day. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're probably just burned out and in need of rest. Okay? This is something that we as women do not do enough. We feel like it is selfish, or we feel guilty, or we don't feel like we should. And the reality is our bodies are screaming for us to slow down and to pay attention and to really get out of the sympathetic state and into the parasympathetic state, which is where healing happens. So, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for listening. Coaching clients, if you have questions, by all means, please bring them. And everyone else, until we meet again, be kind, be well, cultivate good health. Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.